Good evening, welcome to Tales of Myth and Mayhem. I am Mark, I am your storyteller. We are playing the Black Madonna from Kult Divinity Lost. Very lucky to have Adam back with us. We don't have Yeti because she's away cheating on us, playing a very wholesome game of Call of Cthulhu. Yep, wholesome. But we'll make do. Do a quick round, do a recap, and then we'll go back in time a bit and see what Harry's been up to. So let's start with that. Aaron, who are you, who are you playing?
Hey, I'm Aaron. Glad to be back. It's been a hot minute. I am playing Harry Hassenjäger. He is a average size guy, nondescript features. He's got short brown hair, wears round glasses, blends in when you're not looking at him. He's a forensics accountant. At least that's what he says he is. A dear friend of Magda's. His fiancée Michelle recently died under mysterious circumstances, and he's been looking into her death.
Very nice. Lanhee, how about you?
Hi, I'm Lonnie. I will be playing Sophia Katzenbeisser. She is a horror writer that's trying to get her life back together.
Trying is the operative word. And of course, Lavaita.
Hello, I'm Lavaita. I'm playing Elisabeth König, who is a seller of occult books. And she dresses like a seller of occult books does. It's kind of very dark clothing, long, flowing kind of stuff. She wouldn't look out of place in a sort of archive situation. And she's having a pretty bad time because she just started getting her business back on track when it got firebombed.
It did indeed. Poor wee bookshop. Didn't even care about the cat. So last time, as we just mentioned, bookshop got firebombed. Mike did some observation of the what do you call it? The Slavic Association. We found out that Sophia's husband was actually a member. After the firebombing, the police suggested it might be a little bit dangerous for them all to go home, so they went, got some stuff, and they're now all at a hotel. However, since they hadn't been able to get hold of Harry, we're going to find out what he's been up to first. So we're going back now to the previous Sunday. You and Claudette got the train back together from Hamburg, arriving in Berlin the early afternoon. What's your apartment like?
Well, actually, Harry doesn't have an apartment at the moment. His house burnt down under mysterious circumstances shortly after Michelle's body was taken away by the police, and after he took those pictures that he handed over in the hotel. But he has been staying in different locations each night when he's been in Berlin, and he's currently moved off towards an old abandoned industrial park as he leaves the train station. As you
There you go.
You see him as he goes into this an old warehouse, and he walks in. You hear sort of a muffled sound coming from a small room with the door closed. Probably was an old janitor's closet or maybe a small storage area, but he doesn't go in there. He goes into an office space, and you see a cot there, and a foot locker, and that's it. And he sets that down. He sits down on the cot, takes out his Sig Sauer P226. Disassembles the pistol and begins to clean it.
And you take your time, the ritual of it. The ritual of it, helping to keep you calm as your skin itches. You still feel the heat of the sickness on you. And the knowledge that something might be wrong with your good friend Magda kind of lies heavily, I would assume. What's your plan for the rest of the Sunday afternoon? You know you're meant to meet them the next day. On the Monday evening, you're all meant to go to Magda's apartment. But you have the rest of the afternoon and the next day.
Harry stands. He's scratching himself. He's rolling his shoulders. He puts the 6 Hour back in the holster. He loosens up his Bodenfire knife. And he goes into that adjacent storage space. And he opens the door. And you see another, a bed frame in that space. And on it, you see a naked man, chained down, spread eagle. He's wearing a mask over his eyes and noise-canceling headphones. He's got a ball gag in his mouth and an IV stuck in his arm, but the bag is completely collapsed. And he's just moaning softly. And you see Harry go over. There's a small refrigerator, and he pulls out some ice. He takes out the ball gag. He sits down next to him. Brian, I know I've been gone for a few days. You're probably very thirsty. Did you know you could go without food for probably a month? You're probably only about 24 hours away from dying from thirst. So I'm going to put an ice cube in your mouth. You need to hold it in your mouth and let it melt. And then afterwards, I'm going to give you a sip of water through a straw. Then we're going to continue our conversation, Brian. I know we were interrupted. I had to leave. I had to go to Hamburg for a few days. A friend of mine was there, and I thought she might have some answers for me, answers that you were unable to give me before I left. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to speak with her. So I'm going to give you another opportunity to talk with me.
You see his eyes look as if they would cry, but there's no moisture there. His lips are all chapped and cracked. You can smell the urine and shit, although there's not much as that there. His skin seems kind of brittle when you touch it, and just the fear in his eyes. So who is Brian?
Brian, he was an associate of Michelle's. What happened was, she was she was doing her doctoral studies into the psychology of the occult and how it affected those who believed in the occult. And it was just purely academic. And there were others who were interested in it. That was part of her psychology program. And Claudette was actually her academic advisor in this. And they were just doing purely academic studies until this individual, Brian, came over from the United States. And at some point, he was either a catalyst or possibly the cause of some of their studies actually dipping into the occult. And because he wasn't actually a student, it took Harry a while to actually track him down, going through the journals, talking to the other students in Michelle's program. But he finally tracked Brian down and brought him here right before he had to go to Hamburg. And he started questioning Brian, but Brian became a little hysterical. So he had to leave him here for a few days to give him an opportunity to think about what might be best for his future.
He takes the ice in his mouth and you see him wince as he does so, but he keeps his eyes don't leave yours and he keeps it in his mouth, letting it melt. That's every so often wincing at the pain of it. He doesn't try to talk yet at all. You give him the sip of water. Please let me go.
Brian, be still. Be still. I want you to listen to me very carefully, Brian. I want you to think back. You came here from the United States, and you found my fiancée Michelle and her friends. And because you found them, Michelle is dead. Now, you're going to help me understand how your involvement with her group led to this. Now, if you help me understand this, your torment will end. And if you're very, very forthright, there is a very good chance that I am going to drop you at the airport with a ticket that I am going to send you home to the United States with the understanding that you're never going to come back to Germany again. But if I think that you're not being honest with me, well, I might just have to put these earphones back on you, blindfold you, and walk out of here again for several more days. And then we'll just see how long you can last
His
before I
face
come back
screws
to
up.
ask you questions.
His face screws up as you say that, and he starts to shake his head quite violently. No, please, please, please. I didn't find them, they found me.
Did they now? Well, how did they find you, Brian?
There are people that he's finding it quite difficult to talk. Is very Rob's having a good time. His throat is so even with the liquid that he's had is quite cracked. I'm not doing the voice though because I'm too lazy. You seem like a rational man. Yes, please understand. Nothing I did. I wouldn't have wanted to hurt her. I didn't do anything to hurt her. All I did was share knowledge.
And what knowledge did you share?
He stops. You see him get calm. When you hear, he's just under his breath, he's just counting 1, 2, 3. His body goes limp. His breathing is even. The eyes close, then reopen, and are much livelier than they were before. Just kill this thing. He has no information for you. And it's not Brian's voice. It's not speaking English, speaking Russian.
Harry responds in Russian. Then who are you? And he's thinking at this point that maybe Brian has, some split personality disorder or something.
Who I am, Radimir, is not as interesting as who you are.
At this, Harry sits back. He's like, explain, Radimir.
The head looks around. Now the body. This thing won't take much more anyway. What did he help them do? He gave them knowledge. He gave them a way to contact those more powerful. And you know what's funny? Had they just waited just a little bit longer, you could have given them that knowledge yourself, Harry. You have attracted the eyes of some very, very powerful things. How's that rash doing?
Harry involuntarily reaches up and scratches. He sighs, puts his hand on Brian's forehead, pulls the Sig Sauer out, puts a bullet through his ear, stands up, turns around, and starts to walk away.
As you put the gun to the head, starts laughing, very some maniacal sort of laugh. You pull the trigger, and the brains go onto the wall, but the laugh doesn't stop. Roll, keep it together, please.
11, 14.
So you can choose one. You become angry, sad, scared, guilt-ridden, or you can become obsessed.
I think obsessed at this point because he's heard some this whatever this was clearly wasn't a split personality. This thing understood things that Brian wouldn't have known. So he's obsessed now with understanding what this is and how it relates to him and how it relates to Michelle's death.
After a few seconds, the laughter peters out. The blood on the wall doesn't look random. In fact, you think you've seen whatever shape it's taken somewhere before, but you can't quite place it.
Harry goes back to the footlocker, pulls out a small camera, goes back, photographs Brian's face, photographs the wall with the blood on it, goes back, pulls a jug out of the footlocker that's got jellied detergent and gasoline in it, basically homemade napalm, puts it next to the cot, puts a little igniter on it, walks out of the warehouse and now into the street.
This took quite a while, fairly late at night. But now, where is it you're heading?
He's going to be heading now back towards the university. He wants to try to talk to another couple of Michelle's former acquaintances who are in the doctoral program with her. Because he thinks maybe they know a little bit more. I mean, not that they were withholding from him, but he might be able to put something in context that he didn't understand before that might be able to lead him into a direction that he didn't even know he was supposed to be exploring. So he's headed towards the university.
I want you to roll plus perception, please, with a -1.
Perception. Okay, with a minus. Okay. It's 12, 13. 12.
You keep walking. You have your usual you're keeping your usual watch. In just a moment, just in time to realize there's someone who's getting closer to you, and I want you to avoid harm as a bat swings towards your head as they step out from the brush.
Oh, that's better. 17.
Nice. This bat swings and you dodge out the way. What do you do?
So he ducks under it, pivots around. As he pivots around, he pulls his Sig Sauer out and just buries it in this individual's sternum. And he's looking in this person's face. Who does he see, or does he recognize the individual?
You don't recognise him. He's about 6 foot tall, built like a brick shithouse. And you hear other footsteps coming towards you.
Okay, so he is going to use his weapon master, and he is going to put 2 shots in this guy's chest and 1 in his head, and then disappear if he succeeds. So he gets to roll, instead of with violence, he rolls with coolness. Not bad. 13, 17.
Nice.
So that's 4 damage base.
Yeah, that's right. You the 2 in the chest, 1 in the head. As these 2 others start moving towards you, you hear one, or you see one pull a gun.
So as he pulls the gun, Harry will grabs the guy. He's still got him, and he backs up towards. Well, what's around him?
Right, yeah, that'd be a good idea because I'm terrible at that. You were walking along towards the university. The street is just a normal street, enough for two cars each way. There's a couple of cars parked along the side. Where you were walking, there is like alongside a park, so there's like brush and greenery there. The one guy that attacked you first came out from the brush. There's another guy coming from further up the street. They seem to have tried to box you in. And then there's the one that pulled the gun, was just coming up behind you. So you're now facing him with the dead assailant in your hands.
So Harry's got he's got him in front of he's got this dead body in front of him, and he just says, coolly, he goes, "Do we talk or do we shoot?"
Man looks at you, looks at his friend, and then you hear another gun cock. In fact, first of all, roll plus perception again, because I think Harry would have a chance to.
13.
You hear the gun cock, and you feel as something hits into your head. Roll endure injury. Harm is 2, so it's plus fortitude minus harm.
And you said that harm was 2?
Mm-hmm.
12.
What we're going to say here is you take a serious wound to the head as this now third assailant has managed to sneak up and managed to damage you. So the blood comes out. You know what a head wound's like when you feel dizzy. Please come with us, Harry. We just want a word. And this accent is heavily Russian.
Well, since you asked so nicely, how could I possibly refuse?
A hand reaches out to grab your wrist. Do you let them, or?
No, Harry says, I said I would come along. You don't need to walk me.
No. He turns. The other two come with your shoulders. The body that you've probably dropped, I would assume, gets picked up. You hear a siren coming in the distance. The one that talked to you says quickly in Russian and gets you into a familiar white van. Your gun, please, Harry.
Harry drops the magazine, pops the slide back, takes the bullet out, hands it over.
This is a nice gun.
Served me under
You're
similar
not,
circumstances.
You're not German, are you, Harry?
I think my German's quite good.
True, but and at that point you feel a needle pierce your neck, and a slight burn as something goes in. And you begin to lose consciousness.
As he's losing consciousness, he goes, it's going to be one of those nights, isn't it?
You wake, sunlight streaming through a dirty window. You're on a small cot. Your hands are tied to each side. It's not with cuffs or anything. It seems to be so fairly slim rope. Your feet are also tied. There's a large man sitting in the chair beside you. You awake?
Harry nods. He goes, yes, I'm awake.
You need water?
Wouldn't hurt. I'm assuming we're going to be talking since I'm not dead, so a little bit of lubrication for the throat's always good, especially after the headache I've got. You didn't need to drug me. You could have just bagged me, but
It's better to be careful. I get the
I
boss.
appreciate the professionalism.
He goes out, comes back a moment later with the guy that was talking to you. He's an even bigger man, bald. They're all wearing tracksuits. It's a very stereotypical Russian gangster sort of thing. The one that you woke up to gives you a sip of water. The other sits in the seat that was taken. You're a dangerous man, yes?
It depends on who I'm pointed at and what questions I'm asking, I suppose. I've been known.
You killed Sergei. Sergei was a good man.
Well, Sergei swung a bat at the back of my head. If he had come up to ask me questions politely, Sergei would be alive.
Yes, Sergei was not the smartest.
Well, Darwin's effects are in place.
It's true. You want to set up?
That would be, well, I prefer to talk sitting, if you don't mind.
He nods his head. The guy comes over, unties your hands and your legs. We have a problem, Mr. Hasenjäger. My employer is not very happy with you and your friends.
Which friends are these? I have so many.
We both know that is not true.
Well, I have many acquaintances and 0 friends, so you'll have to be more specific.
The ones you were at dinner with, the ones that got sick with you.
In Hamburg?
Yes, in Hamburg. We missed each other then.
I would not call them friends. I was more, well, perhaps one of them might become a friend, but all right, let's assume that they are friends. Yes, what about them? And why is your employer upset with them?
This I'm not sure of. My employer wanted me to watch to find out what you're doing. But I saw the man in the bed, and it made me think that you are not German, Mr. Hasenjäger.
My German, as I said, is flawless.
Yes.
And then he switches to English, and he's like, and my English is flawless as well.
I have no
Who is
doubt.
to say where I come from?
The way you treat that man in the bed, I think you come from Mother Russia.
And then he switches to Russian, and he goes, that man was a disappointment. I
Most
don't like
men
to be
are.
disappointed.
Most men are. Now, you are in hiding, no?
Well, let's say that there are certain people that I would prefer not to see again.
Yes, Alexei knows people like that. You KGB?
Let's say there are certain people I would not like to see again.
I think we could maybe help each other a little bit.
I'm always interested in expanding my work associates.
This is good. Come, we have coffee. This is not a place for guests.
I appreciate the hospitality.
Your legs are also untied. You see your gun, still stripped like you left it. The magazine beside it. This is yours. Do not take your things.
Again, thank you for your hospitality.
I hope the little wound on your head is not a big problem, and I don't think there'll be any ill effects from the sedative. It's just a precaution.
This is the cost of doing business sometimes in our line of work, is it not? It's an introduction of sorts.
So I think as you get coffee, you get offered some breakfast. It's only the one guy, Alexei, that's talking. The other two, they probably don't look as happy about what's going on, but don't seem to be in a place where they can do anything about it. So, as I said, my current employer is not too happy with all of you. I am not sure why. I don't ask questions that are unnecessary. However, I do not like them. They are more like that man you had tied up. Do you understand? They're not good men.
I'm beginning to understand. I did not understand before my most recent conversation with Brian, or whatever that was, but I am beginning to understand, yes.
I think we can do things for each other. My name is Alexei Blobel. I have not friends, enemies, perhaps among your former colleagues. There is one here. And I would very much like to not to have to deal with him myself. You understand?
I think I do.
Good. If you take care of that, I can give you information on those that are looking for you now. My employers are, as I said, not good men.
I understand. Now, when you say you want this gentleman taken care of, do you want them removed from the board, or do you want them distracted from you?
Whatever it's, I do not want to have to deal with them ever again. However you achieve that is up to you.
Understood. I believe we can start with the soft glove, and then if the hammer must be applied, that's always a possibility.
I knew I liked you. It hasn't you go. Breakfast gets eaten. As you talk, it gives you a little bit of information about the three Russian men. Tells you, first of all, they were meant to follow Magda. And then when they met up, after the men left the gala, they were told to... so after the three Russians had left the gala that night, they spoke to Alexei, and Alexei had been told to keep an eye on you four. You four particularly, not Claudette, not anyone else that was there. Your descriptions were given, and your names, well, for the ones that they knew.
Do you know why, Alexei, why they were so interested?
No. Usually when they want someone, it's bag and grab, you know?
Yes. No, I do know. That's why it seems a little strange that they just have us under observation, particularly since before that night, I didn't know any one of those others at the table.
They seemed agitated. They, as if you all scare them.
Interesting. Interesting.
And these are people that are not used to being scared, I think. I have heard stories.
Any insight into who your bosses are that you can pass on to me, so I know not to put myself in a bad position with them?
After.
Oh, all right.
That is the deal.
No. I will steer my associates away from you. But if I'm to do that, it would help greatly if you can tell me where they're at right now, since I'm assuming you still have them under observation. I should have met them already. I'm after let's say my unexpected nap last night and our conversation, I'm already late for where I was supposed to meet with them.
One, at least, is at their shop. One is staying at home. And the other, it looks at one of the other men. She's gone to lunch.
All right then. Well, I will circle back and find them when they all collect again together. I will reintegrate myself into the group, and I will see to it that our new found partnership bears fruit.
Thank you. He gives you the details of this. Probably perhaps former, you're not sure, either former or undercover KGB agent. He is under an American alias. Henry Seawald. He works. Are you frozen? No. Okay, good.
Nope.
He works for Enron. I think Enron. I'm not sure. That oil company. I don't know if Enron was about back then, but he has been making inquiries about several of my old associates, two of which went missing. I do not want to go missing. I have a good setup here. Now, if he is KGB, you may need to kill him. If he defected, then maybe you can turn his head.
Do you have a location for him? Most recent location for him?
No. And gives you a hotel in the centre of Berlin. It's a very upmarket one. He's been here for a week. This is the third time this year that he's been here. And he gets closer.
All right. Well, I will go have a conversation with Mr. Seawald. A very private conversation, and I will see if we can come to some terms.
It's good. Vodka?
Indeed.
The vodka gets shared out. So what's the plan?
So Harry will he'll head towards the hotel, and I think he's going to use his manhunter advantage to try to gain some information about about this KGB agent Henry Seawald. You know, listening at the hotel and maybe trying to gain some additional information before he approaches.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just double checking that. So that's whenever you're out to get information about someone, roll plus reason. Not bad. 15.
That's good. Right, so what do you get? What's the...
I get to ask you 3 questions.
Mm-hmm.
So first question, how can I best gain access to Henry Seawald?
So asking around, putting some money in the right hands at the hotel, you know that one of the porters there would be able to get you the key for a small sum.
Okay. And who does he surround himself with in his room?
From what you can tell, largely prostitutes.
Okay. And where is he located right now?
He has not left his room since Friday. He's on the 8th floor.
Okay, so Harry bribes the porter to get the room key, and he goes up to his room on the 8th floor.
It's a very opulent hotel. The carpets are, you feel your feet sink into them. The wallpaper has those patterns on it. Like if you touch it, it feels like more like some kind of cloth. Than paper. All the lights are molded and gilded, and each door looks like it's old and thick, with beautifully painted. It's quiet on the floor when you get there. The elevator still has what do you call it? What do you call the guy that rides in the elevator with you?
Elevator attendant?
Yes, an attendant. And lets you out on the 8th floor.
And so Harry will just confidently walk right down to the room. That's the best way. Just look like he belongs there. Takes out the room key, but he's keeping his head down. He's got his hat on, so he's avoiding any cameras that might be in the hotel. So they'd be able to identify his height, but that's about it. Walks up. He's got his cig loose. Unlocks the door. Walks in. Shuts the door right behind him and puts his back to the door. And scans the room really quickly.
It's dark. The curtains are closed.
Good. Locks the door behind him. Takes the cig out. Flips on the room lights because he's assuming there's a light switch near the wall there, and walks into the room, leading with his pistol, looking for Alexei.
For Henry.
I mean, for Henry. Yeah, sorry.
You flick on the light. See, it's a suite. So you kind of like in the living room. It's a glass table, large TV to the side. You see the remnants of a party, drugs strewn over the table. Couple of women sleeping on the floor, and a very naked man looking towards you, his eyes wide open. He'd been standing over the curtains.
Is there a
order you?
Oh, and Harry's speaking in English now. Henry, we need to have a conversation.
He looks down. I don't think I'm dressed for it.
No, I think you're perfectly dressed for it, Henry. Let's go out on the balcony and have a conversation.
Now you see he starts to look a little bit afraid.
There's no reason to be afraid, Henry. I'm pretty sure we can come to an understanding. Let's say, for instance, that I was, I don't know, a CIA operative working out of Berlin. And let's say you were a KGB operative or former KGB operative working out of Berlin. And let's say I needed to have a conversation with you. I think it would be great if you were naked and on a balcony. And if we had this conversation, then I could walk away and you could return to your party. What do you think?
Stares at you. And then you hear that laugh that you heard before.
Henry, you don't want to be freaking me out right now, okay?
You're
So let's
counting. 1,
let's make some smart decisions here, Henry.
2,
This is not one of them.
3, and the lights go out.
Son of a bitch.
You hear the laughing now. A little bit further away. Off to the side.
So Harry's backing up slowly, step by step, so he can get his back against a wall.
Ah, Radomir.
Listen, man, I don't know who you are. I've got a job to do here.
What job is that? This isn't saving Michelle, is it?
Michelle's dead. My job is to find out why she died and put the people who caused it in the ground.
Radomir. Don't you know death is only the beginning?
No, it's not. Death is the end. It is the end. Do you understand? I know it's the end. I saw what it looked like. It was the end of her. It was the end of our child. And I've put enough people in the ground to know what the end looks like.
He barks out a laugh again, and I want you to roll see through the illusion, please.
My soul's at a -2, so if I ever see through the illusion, it will be something. I did get a good roll though. 10 in total.
The darkness of the room is gone. You see the shapes of the women on the floor are like piles of animals. They're moving languidly in and out of each other. You see the light coming from behind the curtains is bright red. And you see the man that was naked has no skin. His arms are out to the side.
What the? This ain't real. What the?
He smiles. I know where Michelle is. And takes a step towards you.
Harry just extends. Pop, pop, pop. Man, he just fires a couple rounds, one in each eye and one in the mouth.
Lose 1 stability, please.
$10.
You shoot. You see the bullets hit. Chest moves, kind of twitches. The hits on the jaw, the laughter doesn't stop but changes. I'll see you soon, Vladimir. And it drops, and you hear screaming from the 2 women that were on the floor.
Harry looks down. He's like, shit. He says, stop screaming.
That does not help.
He goes, listen. Stop screaming. I need to talk to both of you. You're prostitutes, right? We can work something out here.
They look absolutely terrified. They move closer together. One of them's crying, the other one trying to be brave, but absolutely shitting herself.
Okay. Listen, ladies, I've seen your faces. I'm going to take your wallets with me, okay? So I'm going to have your IDs. This was a hit. I was hired to kill this man. You're not going to say anything about me or what I looked like. You're in hysterics and you didn't get a good look at me. If I hear that you reported to the Polizei or anyone else that you got a good look at me, people like me are going to come to your homes and they're going to kill you and anyone else in your homes and everyone else you know. Are we understanding one another? So this is a horrible thing that happened, and it's horrible that you had to see it. But you get to live through it unless you open your mouths.
The one that's trying to look brave nods.
Okay, this is good, because I don't
the
kill
ID,
you.
but not the wallet.
That's fair. That's fine. I don't want your money. I don't want to steal from you. That's wrong. You're hardworking women. He takes the IDs. He says, see, I've got your IDs. I don't ever want to see you again, and I don't ever want to hear that you saw me. Are we understanding one another?
Just nods.
Excellent. Wonderful. You ladies have a very nice evening. He takes his shoes off, puts them in a bag because he's afraid there's probably blood on them. Goes over, finds Henry's shoes somewhere in the clothes that he left, puts them on, and walks out the door.
Excellent.
Heads for the stairs, doesn't take the elevator down, doesn't want to be remembered by the attendant.
You make your way out. I mean, this took quite a while. You did doing all your research.
And I am going to employ exit strategy as I leave, which allows me to disappear without being found after I kill somebody.
Very nice.
I just got to look it back up real quick. Exit strategy. So I roll plus perception. 8, 5, 10, 13, and perception is 14. So I get to choose 2 options.
Nice.
I will have left no clues that can be traced back to me. So by terrifying the women, they're not going to identify me, and I haven't left anything that could any trace evidence. And I will leave the scene of the murder without being noticed by anyone other than obviously the women that I terrified, and reach a safe spot of my choosing. So basically, I won't have been picked up by the cameras, go down the stairs, get out of the lobby without being noticed by anyone in particular.
Excellent. Sorry, I'm just waiting on an answer to a question, and then
he'll go to...
No, sorry, on you go.
And then he goes to a payphone and calls Alexei. I'm assuming he gave me
Yes.
a drop number or something. It just says problem is solved with extreme prejudice, and then he just hangs up the phone.
And you get to rest.
All right.
Where do you sleep that night?
He finds another hotel, checks in under Henry's name, and goes to sleep.
You know that you've missed the meeting with Magda, but you assume the others would have
Gone, yep.
Yeah. And when you sleep, the dreams are back. And you are in that in that room again. The darkness. And you feel small. You hear something pulling itself along the floor. And you feel nails going into your feet, and your feet are tiny and soft. And it's so sensitive. As soon as this thing, you hear yourself scream, and the scream is high pitched, and you look around and you see small bodies covered in blood, skin hanging off of them. And something pulls and your head smacks off of the ground. and you're tied to a bed. And those three men from the gala, the three Russian men, people that were with Magda, they're leering down at you, and you're not sure if they are scared or they are hungry or excited or angry. But you feel as their fingers start to dig into your skin, splitting it open, pushing their hands into your chest and your stomach, and you scream and scream. You wake up covered in sweat. The middle of the night. You don't get up. You fall asleep again, and then somewhere in the background, just as you're falling asleep, you hear that laughing. But you don't dream again. Do you go for breakfast the next morning?
Absolutely. He'd be hungry. He had a hard night. Oh, well, he had a long night.
Before you go for breakfast, you're getting ready. You notice there's boils turning up on your arms. Red and angry.
What the hell?
Looks like something. You're not sure, maybe something moving inside. The temperature doesn't feel as bad, but it's. You think this might be just a continuation of what's going on.
Oh, man, we've got to get to the bottom of this.
Sophia, Elisabeth, you get up. You head for breakfast. Mike said that he just wasn't feeling well, staying in his bed. The hotel is, it's not the most upmarket of hotels, but does have a nice breakfast. What do you want to do? Talk?
Before Sophia left her room, she would have wrapped up the hand that has the mark on it. She's still very much like, I don't know what this is, but I'm not showing other people. So she's like, it's wrapped up her hand.
It's absolutely fair. Rob redeemed hydrate as well, please. So, please hydrate.
Did it another time.
Very nice. I always noticed. As you're wrapping it up, you feel it, and you're not sure if the fingers are hot or cold, but you do know they feel just like his.
That's wonderful. What she wanted first thing in the morning.
Of course. You know you had a dream with him in it, but you can't quite remember it. But it was something nice. A memory. What was the last nice memory you have with him?
For their 2-year anniversary, they went on like a vacation together. And he paid for everything and made sure that it was something that she would remember before everything happened.
That for some reason is what was in your mind as you woke up. And it surfaces again as you wrap the mark. Breakfast isn't all that busy. There's a couple of tables, people seated at them. One with an older couple, One looks like a man and his daughter.
Is there just like an empty table?
Yep, there's an empty table. I don't know if you took it down together or you meet there.
I would have assumed that her and Elizabeth would have came down together and sat at a table together.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Works for me.
How did your morning start, Elizabeth?
Elizabeth did not get a lot of sleep. She's going over and over in her head the fact that like she's just got her business looking like it's going to be okay, and then this happens. And she's worrying a lot about just that stuff, in addition to the boils and the whole madness of this last almost week. She can't really sleep, and during the night she'll probably get up and look at that book again about looking over the stuff about the dreams and the ritual that she might have to do, or what the ritual that the book suggests could help. I don't need you to read it through again. She's going to read it over and just try and get a sense of what the heck it means, because it seemed fantastical and weird when we saw it in Magda's apartment, but if it's the only answer we've got at the moment, she wants to understand it better.
You know you need to find them. You need whoever's doing this to you all in the same place at the same time. You need 3 circles. One around... so 3 concentric circles, getting smaller till you contain the people that are doing this to you. It has to be all at once or it won't work.
Sorry, I'm just making a note of that. I can come back and make a note as well, but
Yeah,
I like to have it in the moment.
Don't worry, we'll go.
So yeah, she's probably not looking great before she comes in. She'll probably try and do a little bit of work with a little bit of concealer or something, but she's going to be heading straight for the coffee, I think, and some kind of cereal.
So, you get your breakfast. You have learned a little bit more about the ritual. I did give you a copy, didn't I? Or did I not?
I can't remember, but if you didn't, I'll message you after.
Any bother. And you two begin to have your breakfast together. Harry, at that point, after discovering the boils, you're very surprised to see 2 of the women you were meant to meet the other night.
He walks over. He's like, Sophia, Elisabeth, I must apologize for missing our appointment the other day.
You have missed a lot.
Well, do you mind if I sit with you and you can catch me up?
Yeah, that's fine.
Are you okay? You look like you've been in the wars a little yourself.
It's been a difficult time. To be honest with you, the nightmares have continued and they've only gotten worse. And he shows them the boils on his arm and whatever that fever that I thought, that cold, flu, whatever it was. I don't think it's done with me. And
Elizabeth rolls up her sleeve and shows similar marks in her arm.
And I would share this with you. Please don't think me mad, but there's been a voice speaking to me through other people, seeming to know secrets about me, about us. I don't understand. I don't know what's going on. I spent the last couple of days trying to track down what happened to my fiancée. I'm going to be honest with you. That's one of the reasons I went to speak with Magda. Why I went to Hamburg is I thought she might have some insights into what Michelle had gotten herself into. Sophia, you know a bit more about this with what I shared with you, but
Hmm.
I don't know. But those men that were with Magda in Hamburg, they're in my dreams. They're there. I don't know what it means, but I'm very grateful that I ran into you. I was going to look for you today regardless. And I'm sorry that I wasn't there to go. What did you find Magda? That should have been my first question. I'm sorry I'm so preoccupied with myself. Did you find her? Is she all right?
In a sense, we found her, but also no. She's not all right, I'm afraid.
What's wrong with her?
Well, Mike and I went to the apartment, and Magda was there, but she was not at all well. We contacted an ambulance. She was taken to hospital, but she didn't survive long after that.
She's dead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What? I mean, how? She was just fine. I mean, a few days ago. I mean, she had a cold or something. What did the doctor say?
I mean, I think they spoke more to Mike than to me, to be honest, but it looked like the boils that we've got, she had more of that. And it looked like she'd had them for some time, and that there's something you should know about
you wouldn't
these.
know that the doctors said they couldn't see them.
Yeah, I was about to get to that.
Yeah, sorry.
You should know that other people aren't seeing these. When the medical folks came with the ambulance, they couldn't see any of this stuff on her or on us.
Hold on. So what you're saying is the only people who could see these physical deformities are us?
And one doctor at the hospital.
Who was he? What was his name?
This is where my window's being not in the right place. Dr. Richter. Hans Richter.
Hans, what did Dr. Richter say they were? Why did he say he could see them?
He seemed to imply it was some kind of... He was investigating it. Mike has his own thoughts on this matter. I have differing thoughts on this matter, so it's very hard for me to present either of them as fact to you. They think it's an illness that hasn't been found by science yet, perhaps. But I've also had some indications that it might be some kind of curse. Now, I appreciate... Carry on.
No, go right ahead, Elizabeth. Sorry, I did not mean to interrupt.
I appreciate that I'm coming at this from an occult background, but I'm also coming at this from a belief system background and a theological background. It looks like there may be something in this, and I wouldn't rule out the possibility that the thing that the books that we found say might help could help, but they present some challenges.
At this point, I'm beginning to think that whatever is happening to us is something science can't explain. Whatever happened and killed Michelle is something science can't explain. These voices I'm hearing who know things about me, I am not mad. One thing I know is I know my own mind. So things that are happening defy explanation. So I'm willing to accept that which has not been explained.
Well, let's just say that we're looking into it on both fronts. Perhaps that there's a doctor who's investigating the science end of things and is taking physical readings, and I think Mike has set most of his faith in that leading to something. But also there's a book I have upstairs. A book written by one of those men from the event on Wednesday, whenever, last week. It's all blurring into one.
I understand. I haven't slept well for days. That feels like one endless slog.
And we tried to gather in my bookstore yesterday to talk about it, and then someone threw a Molotov cocktail through the window.
What?
That's why we're here.
And I got hit with a brick. What?
Well, all right. This and Harry looks around. He's looking to scan to see if anybody's listening or looking at us or observing anything.
Nothing at all.
And he
The old couple's very intent on the breakfast. The kid is showing the dad something, just trying to take all his attention. He just looks knackered.
he leans in close and he goes, "I'm going to tell you something. Do not react to it. I was forcibly invited to meet with someone who said that we were all being watched by someone with enough power to put enough muscle on the street to, well, at least find me and round me up for a conversation. So there are parties interested in us. So I guess I'm not surprised that you are both attacked. We need to be on guard. Very close guard. Whatever is happening to us has piqued the interests of some powerful people."
I mean, Sophia just kind of like stares at him, like no reaction. Well, that would make sense of how my ex-husband, found me. He hasn't been able to find me for maybe a good year or so. When he found me recently,
Hmm.
I mean, he's dead now, but
Are you all right?
yes and no.
When you talk about him, you feel that grasp around that mark in your hand. And it's almost as if he's right at your ear. He whispers, "You're mine."
She'll just like grab her hand that has the mark and like squeeze it, I guess, to like, in her mind it's like she's turning it off, so she's just like squeezing it. So Harry will see her like grab her like hand that's wrapped and just like squeeze it like very tight.
Is there anything that I could do to help you, Sophia? After all, you are helping me.
Mm, no, I just have to do some research.
I mean, I know I'm just a number cruncher, just an accountant, but I'm fairly sharp. So if there is anything I can ever do to help you, just ask.
What was your fiance's name?
Michelle.
Sha- I think I've heard that name before.
Where? In what context?
Um, my Caspian was a part of some association. They would have meetings. I was never there for all the meetings. I was forcefully taken for some. I remember a woman named Michelle. I didn't never talk to her. He kept me on a very short leash when I went with him, but the name sounds familiar.
Did you, if I describe her, would you? She was about 5 feet tall with long, dark red hair, fair eyes, slight build, probably dressed a little bookish, wore glasses.
Uh,
That's her.
yeah, I saw her once or twice. Again, I didn't say anything to her, and I always left, and she would still be there when I left, but
And you see Harry, look on his face changes a little bit. He gets a little, almost as if all the emotion sort of drops from his face. He goes, where did these groups meet? And who was in charge of them?
I was never
The Slavic
Yeah.
Association.
the Slavic Association is what it is called.
And that name rings a bell, Harry. That's the turned up in Magda's computer in
yes.
Hamburg.
That's the group that that Magda had some connection to, or at least she had some information within our computer, right?
Yeah.
And there was some more stuff about it in her apartment in Berlin as well. I think Mike's got her diary,
Okay.
or one of them.
Sophia, do you know who led that group? I mean, when Caspian took you to it, was there someone in charge?
Kramer.
Kramer wasn't in
Kramer
charge.
was not in charge
You
of
might
it.
have heard, well, you might have from Caspian, but in the meetings that you went, you wouldn't have heard. What you might have heard is Sasha Pagodin, who is also one of the three men, but only really in connection with the Slavic Association itself.
It seems like all of this is becoming more interconnected than we thought. Perhaps our meeting in Hamburg isn't quite as random as we believed. If my fiance is already connected to your ex-husband through this association, it's sounding more and more like we were set up.
It's possible. I don't rule anything out anymore.
I think with that revelation, because I'm sorry, I'm knackered, we're going to leave it for tonight, and it also gives us a chance to have Mike come down for breakfast. There we go. So again, I apologise, we're cutting it short early, and no cliffhanger today, no horrible dreams really. I'm kind of disappointed in myself. But yeah, first of all, we will do the questions, because I think Harry might have got a couple of points here.
Just
So,
a bit.
have we discovered anything new about the truth?
I don't know. I mean, we know, or at least, I mean, Harry's found out that there is a supernatural element. I mean, he's been talked to by this supernatural entity that's clearly indicating that the death of Michelle is connected to this deeper mystery. I don't know if that counts or not, but
Yeah, no, definitely. That's one point. Did we learn anything new about our characters? Definitely the Lanhee, you can take one for getting that about Michelle and Caspian, because that wasn't there before and I like it. So Harry, did you learn anything new? Alan, did you learn anything new about Harry?
I mean, we learned that he was well, we didn't actually learn for a fact that he was ex-KGB officer.
I'd say yeah.
I mean, we learned that he's a cold-blooded killer for a fact.
We learned that he's got at least one other name.
Oh yeah, Radomir.
So I'd say you can get a point for that.
All right.
And did we challenge ourselves?
Not this time for me.
Yeah, I don't think so. This time. What about your hooks, Harry?
Yeah, I did. I did pry some information about Michelle's death out of some of her academic associates.
Excellent.
I mean, I killed him, but yeah, that's it. Yep. My other dramatic hook is still out there, questioning Philippe Kramer. So
Right,
I'll
no,
come
that's
up with.
good. So you take a point for that. And what hook should we give Aaron now?
Maybe Slavic association with Michelle. Any links between those two things?
Yeah, investigate the links between Michelle and the Slavic Association. I think that's
That's
a good
pretty
one.
good. That's great.
I take it we didn't hit on your hooks, Lanhee, Lavaita?
Yeah, we did for me.
Yeah, really? Very nice.
Yeah. Yeah, one of my hooks was to investigate the ritual more, so I decided that given that I wasn't going to have her sleep, I was going to have her read more of the ritual.
Ah, okay, excellent. Excellent. But yeah, what I'd said, so kind of, you need to do the 3 concentric circles, there's chanting to be done, and they all need to be there. If it's the 3 of them doing it, the 3 of them need to be there. So, yeah. So for you, then maybe investigate where best to, or confront the people doing the ritual, maybe. Sound good?
I think that's not going to be a one-session job, but okay.
Doesn't need to be a one session job, something to work towards. Yeah, and again, I do apologise for the quality of this session. It will be better next time. Thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, blah blah blah. We'll be back in 2 weeks. We'll do a quick round, plug anything you want to plug, and then we will fuck off because I'm tired. So we'll go in reverse order. Lavaita.
I'm hopefully running Hunter on Monday night.
Yay.
We'll see. Confirm nearer the time, slightly nearer the time, but yeah, should be on. I'm trying to get them caught up because Vampire are nearly coming up to session 20 and they're only on like earlier than that.
God damn it. Goddamn players. Yeah, excellent. Very much looking forward to it. Lanhee?
I don't have anything to plug.
That's alright. You can plug, you'll be here in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'll be here in 2 weeks.
And I'm sorry that you and Lavaita didn't get much in today. I will make it up to you, I promise. And of course, Aaron.
So I'm getting back in the swing of things after a short break, but back over on Garblad Games in probably the first week of May on Wednesdays. You can catch me back as the GM. We'll be returning to Warhammer: The Old World.
Yes, very good.
So we'll have some fun with those guys in May. So look for us again.
That's superb. Then, once again, I will say thank you very much. We'll be back. Well, I'll be back with this in 2 weeks, and I'll make it good. And you will all love me, and I will make sure they all get terrified. Okay. Have a great one. Bye.